Welcome to the breakdown. I'm your favorite talking hairdo, Ben. I'm your not so humble host, your sports fanatic, your crazy sports fan here in Abilene at the Majestic Coffee Shop and live in the Neon Parrot live studios. What a weekend in sports. Lots of just weird, jam-packed football this week on the show here, and we're going to get into that. It was a crazy, wild week in America. The American people went out to the polls this year, and their voices were heard, and a couple of people had a bad night. I think overall a lot of people had a good night, and hopefully we can all try to get together and have this be a good thing for everybody and all get along and love one another and have peace and maybe a little prosperity and maybe some lower grocery bill prices. We'll just see what happens. But the one thing we know for sure, folks, is the Cowboys will play on Sunday, whether they're good or whether they suck. No matter who the president is, the Cowboys are going to suck on Sunday. Okay, no, I'm sorry. That was rude. That was a mean way to start. But, I wanted to attack, a sports franchise instead of like a political party or something like that, because that's not nice. And we're all sports fans of all different cloths. We're cut from many different political ideologies, religions, races, everything like that. So I really do. I like to have fun with this show. But I don't want to poke too much fun on whoever doesn't come out on top unless you're a sports team, and then I'm going to make fun of you. So, because that's what I do here at the Breakdown. All right, this is week 8 of the Breakdown. We are going to, last week, I started my opening segment monologue was about the World Series. And boy, I'm not going to talk about baseball for a very long time. My listeners are football fans. And so, we are going to run out of football to talk about at some point. But that is not today. Breakdown. Today, we are going to open the show with college football and get regional. We're going to talk about our ACU Wildcat football team. Heck yeah. So we won against Southern Utah, 28-25. ACU is now 6-3 for the season. This weekend at the Wildcats, they're going to go on the road to face Austin Peay. I had to look up Austin Peay. It is in Nashville. It is, it is in Clarksville, Tennessee. I know that they have like a pretty good basketball program. The name rung a bell, but this is definitely one of those teams where I'm like, where the hell is Austin Peay? And am I pronouncing it correctly? I don't know. We do have some fans in Nashville area, so, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, just hit me up, throw something at the TV, whatever. Maverick MacGyver, our quarterback transferred from Texas Tech, has passed for 2,877 yards this season with 22 touchdowns. That's some serious yardage and a lot of touchdowns. I think all the college football teams are entering week 10, if I'm not mistaken. So he's doing a very good job here. Sam Hicks has rushed for 736 yards and 8 touchdowns. Nehemiah Martinez, I talk about him a lot because he's a badass, has totaled 48 receptions for 749 yards and 8 touchdowns. Isaiah Johnson on the ground has punched in 11 touchdowns and 532 yards this season. This is game 10 for the Wildcats. And it doesn't appear, I don't see a line on this one, but what is Ben's pick? Ben's pick is ACU beats them by 13 points. Lucky number 13. I don't think there's a betting line on this one. Sometimes with these smaller schools. Not everybody is a gambling degenerate like yours truly. But man, that'd be fun if there were a line because I throw a little coin on ACU on the Big Purple. So go Big Purple for the weekend for the win. And we picked it here first at the breakdown. So there's my first pick of the day. Um, okay. So now we're gonna stick with our regional college football situation here, but I must start out with the Texas A&M Aggie football team. Yikes! The Aggies lost to South Carolina 20-44. That was coming off of that LSU victory, which was huge. This we talked about this last week, that this kind of a game is just scary as hell if you're the Aggies, because South Carolina, they're not chumps. This is SEC football. These dudes are big and bad, and the South Carolinas, they're not playing for a playoff spot. They're playing to kick people's asses that come into their house that are playing for a playoff spot. And that is exactly what happened on Sunday. The Aggies coach, who I like, Elko, has been switching back and forth. I looked on the record here, and he's been switching back and forth between two quarterbacks this whole season. And at this point in the season, he benched Wegman and started Reed over the weekend, and I'm like, what the hell? This is not good for 18 to 21 whatever-year-old kids, because they are kids. That's why you don't know what the hell's going to happen each weekend, because these guys broke up by their girlfriend, get in a fight with a teammate, whatever. They're almost professionals, but this kind of stuff happens, and it can affect the outcome of a game. So, here we go with this other quarterback. Don't love it. They got beat pretty handily. The offense was just not clicking. South Carolina's offense was clicking. Basically, I can guarantee you one thing: the Aggies will not lose this week, because it's a bye week, folks. That's why. So you can look forward to this weekend not getting your ass kicked by anybody. But I'm sorry, Aggies. You know who you are. Yeah. The good news too, you got two things going for you. One of them is that your next game after your bye week, after you lick your wounds, heal up, is going to be versus New Mexico State at Kyle Field. If you don't beat them by 50 points, then you're going to just fall right the hell out of the standings. I think you jumped up to like 15th place. We got a 12-team college football playoff. Yeah. So guess who did get their ass kicked, like I said? Penn State. Ohio State is your daddy. You suck. Penn State. State College. Woo! You lose. And why? And you move up, I think, 2 spots in the ranking. And I just think that's ridiculous. I think, why is Penn State, I guess it's just tradition. College football is the worst about this. That's why it takes them so long to do anything, to change anything in a positive direction. So that's me banging on Penn State. That's all I'm going to do there. Now, as I call them, my almost martyr, Texas Tech. This is going to be an interesting weekend at the Red Raider House of Jones AT&T Stadium. We welcome Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, Colorado Buffaloes. I always thought they should be the Colorado Bungalows. You know what I mean? Okay. Colorado comes to Lubbock. Colorado coming off a bye week. That is dangerous, very dangerous. I'm scared. Tech fans, be very afraid, because our offense has looked like hammered crap, and our defense hasn't looked much better. We've eked out wins against teams that we probably shouldn't have beat. We got the crap kicked out of us by Baylor. We lose to TCU by like a point. So who knows what Texas Tech is, who they are. I don't know. So this is Ben's pick for this game, and I will be wagering on this matchup. You can fade me if you want, kids, but I would lay the minus 3.5 points bigly, very bigly, okay? Okay. But fade me. You might want to fade me because what do we say? This could be one of those things where Texas Tech could just pull out a weird win. And if they do, I just don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. I know when I saw them in person, they looked really good against Cincinnati, but then, that was a weird game. I think they won because I was there and I did not bet on them. So I think that's what happened. So this weekend, God knows what may happen, but I'm taking Coach Prime in Colorado because Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback, which is Deion's son, as we know, is going to be probably the number 1 draft pick next year for the NFL. He's incredible. He's not just flash, He's a really, in my opinion, here again, Big 12, Colorado, Deion, I think his kid's as good as they say that he is. And then Travis Hunter, he plays offense and defense for Colorado. And that kid, people don't even do that anymore in football. Like, it's unheard of. But just a freak of a talent of an athlete, and Travis Hunter, too. So have fun watching that game. And I don't know. Like I said, you don't want to bet too much on anything, but I would take that 3.5 points for Colorado to get that one. Okay. Moving on to, well, we're not switching topics. We're still on college, but we got Bama at LSU this weekend. Bama is one of those teams, I think, that is very much like Texas Tech in a way. We don't really know what they're doing. Earlier on in this season, I talked up Alabama quite a bit, and then they got their asses kicked by like Vanderbilt or somebody like that, and they tore down the they tore down the goalposts and walked them and threw them in the river. But LSU got beat by A&M. This is a big game to me. This is a rivalry game. Bama, LSU, SEC country. Bama is a 3-point favorite. What is my pick? I don't have it written down because I was going to just choose this one on the spot. I'm going to say LSU is pissed off about the Aggie loss. They're going to cover the 3-point spread. I don't know if they win, but maybe by a field goal, probably not by a touchdown, or Bama beats them by 1,000 points and I lose another bet. How about that? Oklahoma at Missouri, Mizzou. The Sooners are a 3-point favorite. Oklahoma sucks. They're terrible. They're awful. Missouri was really hyped into the season this year, into the preseason, and they have not turned out to be as good as we thought they would be. But let me tell you something. This is one of those. Take Missouri. Take Missouri at home, and I'd put your, I'd bet your next car payment on it. That's what I would do. No, don't do that. Breakdown. Okay. Now here's the tastiest game for me. The college season. The tastiest matchup is Brigham Young University at Utah. Or, as I like to call it, the battle of the Stormin' Mormons versus the Sister Wives with Knives. I will be watching this game. BYU, minus 4-point favorite. Ben's pick. BYU's really good, okay? And they've got God on their side. But guess what? So does Utah. Who does God choose to win this game? Who's it gonna be? I'm taking Utah plus 4. I think this game will be fun to watch. Utah's great. BYU's great. Mormons are weird, but that's why I like to. That's why I like to give them fun names. Okay, they wear special undies. All right, I told you guys I wasn't gonna make fun of people on this show but they are a sports team, so I can make fun of them. Okay, pretty sure I don't have any Mormon fans out there, and if I did, I don't anymore. I apologize, but I don't. You're all weird. Okay, Ben's pick +4, Utah. Or the Sister Wives with Knives win with the murder of the Stormin' Mormons. Okay, now let's move on. Now we're going to shift topics. We're going to go into another direction here. And I wanted to get to this football stuff early because of all the complaining and the bitching that I heard about my baseball monologue last week. So there's your college football. You know who you are. Take it easy. Back off. All right. I'm going to talk. I'll make you mad right now. Most of you. I'm going to talk college hoops, NCAA college basketball. Let me tell you something. That started this week on Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday. I don't know. But I can tell you what. I was watching it, and it was game one. I think it was on Fox Sports 1. There was like 20 games going on, and they would just come in and out of the games. And it is just a gambler / college hoop fans' wet dream, if you want to call it that. Goodness gracious. Sorry, folks. That was a little over the line. But so hoops started. I love college basketball. I love it so much, and I love to gamble so much that I bet Morgan State to beat Mercyhurst by 8 points, for God's sake. None of you know where either one of those colleges are. You don't. I had to look it up. But that's how much I watched the game. I had to stream it on some strange pirated service probably. But anyways, I lost that bet. I did. I won some of the bets the other day with college hoops. The Georgetown bet went my way. Lehigh, I took Lehigh to upset the Georgetown Hoyas. That was stupid, but I did it because the money line, I could bet $2 to win like 30. And did that happen? I actually don't know because that was last night, and I haven't looked yet, but I will momentarily. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I wanted to say if this is serious, okay? I want to be a little serious about this topic. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-FADE-BEN, and I'll help you pick a better bet, okay? If you have a gambling problem, grow up. Oops, sorry. Okay, we are now switching topics again to the NFL. All hail the NFL, the almighty sport of America, the most popular sport in America. Good God, it's so great, and it just keeps getting better. Not for everybody. Not for everybody, though. It gets better for me because my team sucks, and we know this, and I know what's going to happen, so I'm out. I watch. I root for them to beat people, to embarrass people. It's like, oh, you got beat by who? The Raiders? Now, that hasn't happened in a few weeks, but when it does, it'll be funny because they suck. Okay. Shit. Excuse me. Thursday night football. When I curse like that, it's because dude had a bad beat. I lost a bet hard last week, and it's somebody that I love to just rip and make fun of because he's a jerk, and it's the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. He is he's kind of like the bad guy of our Marvel movies franchise that is the Breakdown, okay? He is the evil wizard of New Jersey. Okay, Thursday night football. Last Thursday, Texans at Jets. Dude, the Texans, I bet on you. C.J. Stroud, you're better than this. Texans defense, you're better than this. Rodgers and Devontae pulled together a win. It was Jets 21, Texans 13. So not a whole lot of offense happening there. So I wasn't too far off, but it kind of hurt my pride because I love coming on here every week and just bashing the Jets because it's fun. But okay, you got to win. Big deal. This Sunday, you play the Cardinals in Arizona. Um, the Cardinals are not messing around. The Cardinals have that little bitty quarterback in Kyler Murray that loves to play video games and plays like he's on Madden sometimes. So I'm not going to make that pick today. Yeah, I am. Cardinals win. Jets, you suck. Go home. Go back to Jersey, East Rutherford, or wherever the hell that is. It's a dump. I can promise you that. Okay. Let's see here. That's our Thursday night football. Last week, I had to kind of bang on myself because I lost. I got beat. That was a bad beat. Okay, this Thursday night's matchup. This is going to be a fun game, okay? This is going to be really cool. Like we say here at the breakdown, Thursday night football in the past has been lacking of excitement, scoring, just kind of crappy games. But this year, we have good Thursday night football games on Amazon Prime with Al Michaels. Okay, Al Michaels is like 83 now. His hair is brown, not one gray. I wonder how that's going, but how he does it. Al Michaels called the Miracle on Ice in the 80 Olympics, I think it was. But he's like a national treasure, especially for a football or a sports fan. But did you guys know, listeners, that Al Michaels has not eaten a green vegetable, in like 40 years? And he's 83. He eats steak and baked potatoes. That's what Al Michaels eats. And he came on the Dan Patrick Show a couple years ago, and he talked about this, that he just doesn't eat vegetables unless it's a potato. That's phenomenal. He's like a little kid. And and he's 83. So maybe there is something there. But, some of those people, like when I was a kid, I knew this old man. He was like 85 or something, and he smoked like 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And I think he lived to be like 100 or something. Some people just have magic genetics, and Al Michaels is one of those dudes. That was a tangent. That was not in my notes. But I just wanted to mention that Al Michaels has brown hair and not gray, and he eats steak and potatoes and no leafy greens for that man. So maybe there's something to it. I don't know. And butter, lots of butter. All right, kids, let's keep moving. This Thursday night, we're excited. Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be awesome. You've got the kid from Home Alone and Joey B, Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, Eminem to some. He bleached his hair like all white, like I did in 2001, and I guess that's how old we're getting. Is that which looked terrible back then still looks terrible now, but kids are like, oh yeah, that was back in the day, so let's do that. Let's look like Eminem. Okay, cool. Slim Shady, that's what we're gonna call him. We got Lamar Jackson versus the real Slim Shady, and Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, Joey B. All right. The Bengals have had a really tough start to their season, and they're picking it up. They're beating Cincinnati's coming off of one of their few wins last week, which was against the Las Vegas Raiders, who suck, who are my team, but they suck. And the Bengals got some momentum beating up on my team. So is that a good win? Is that a barometer for you being a badass? No, it's not. It just means you beat the Raiders. But this is a rivalry game. Cincinnati and Baltimore, 2 dumps of cities, love to fight. They love to drink. They love to eat cheeseburgers. And this is going to be crazy. We don't have a lot of rivalry games in the NFL like you would think with college and these kind of things, but this is one. And the Baltimore Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson, is a hoss. He's an animal. He is fast. He can throw the ball. He's just a monster at quarterback. But What he isn't is consistent. You know, the Ravens, you can kind of smell when a loss is coming. And y'all can hold me to this by next week, but the Cincinnati, they kind of suck, but they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he's healthy, which is not very often, but he appears to be healthy right now, today, Thursday. So, dude, what I'm taking, what's Ben's pick? Okay, I had to think about that for a minute because I did something different this week. I didn't write down any of my picks because I'm just like going to go for it off the cuff, and then I'm going to put in all the money I'm going to lose after the show, and we'll do that. So Ben's pick, I'm taking the Bengals plus the 6.5, 6.5 points. I don't know if the Bengals are going to win, but and the Ravens have Derrick Henry, who is not even human. He's like freaking Terminator or something. So, you know, if they can hand the ball off to Derrick Henry and he can run for 1,000 yards, then maybe the Ravens pull this off. But this, to me, this isn't really wizardry here, folks, but you could call it that because how do I know when I'm going to win a bet? Well, I don't. That's why I lose them a lot. However, this one, I just smell the Ravens are going to this is going to be one of those games like they played against the Browns, and it's going to be like, is this real? And people might be like, oh, crap, this Thursday night game sucks. But anyway, so I'm taking the plus 6.5. With Joe Cool, Kevin McAllister, the real Slim Shady to cover the point spread. And I might sprinkle a couple of coins on the money line for the win because I bet that's going to be pretty big. So that's my Thursday night's matchup pick. Thank you, Breakdown. Now, we're going to kind of lean into our adopted team segment. I haven't been adding teams to this because if I do, the show's going to be like 2 hours long. And I don't know how many hours you guys are going to hang in there with me all the time. But I'm going to wait to add an adopted team until maybe next week as we get closer into the backside of the season. So we've got kind of sad. We've got one good adopted team news here, but we've got some kind of sad adopted team news here today, folks. And that's the Bears. Oh, man. The Bears were coming off of a rough loss to the Cardinals, 29-9. Yikes, guys. And that was the week before Jenna, D-Rock, Big Frank, who I'm going to be seeing soon. That's exciting. Coming back down to Texas for a little bit. I hope they can handle the heat. No, actually, today it is not 90 degrees. It's actually we're getting a little rain out there. It feels fallish. Not one leaf has fallen. So maybe when you guys get here, it'll look a little more like fall. But the Bears, the week before last, that was that Hail Mary against the Washington Commandos, and the Bears lost that game barely. The Bears barely lost. Cardinals beat them 29-9. That was an ass kicking. We couldn't get it together. There was some interesting, some coaching decisions that I did not like. I can't really go into too much specifics there because I didn't write it down, which I should have. But as I was watching the game at my local watering hole last weekend, I was just like, what are we doing here? What kind of offense are we running here, guys? I still love Caleb Williams. You got your guy. It's okay. I think I've talked a lot of good about Matt Eberflus and the coaching staff there, but I think their seats are getting a little warm. I think the seats are getting warm potentially because I think we're gonna pull this together as we get through the season. This weekend is a good matchup for the Bears to kind of come get things back in gear. We've got the New England Patriots at Soldier Field in Chi-Town. Okay, the Patriots suck. We all know this, but they're NFL players. They're an NFL team, and they can beat your ass if they show up to play. So what do I think? I think that Caleb Williams has not lost yet at home at Soldier Field. So that's a good sign. I think that he plays really well at home with that home crowd. Chicago is in -6, is a 6-point favorite. Um, that's a hell of a line for a team that's coming off of 2 losses. I don't like them winning by a touchdown here, guys. I don't. But because I'm nervous. Because Chi-Town, we don't want to go three losses in a row like that. This could be a trap game. The Patriots, Gerard Mayo as coach, we've talked about him before. They're not good, but they're not terrible. And I'm gonna take the Bears to win by 10. Because Bears. The Bears kick the Patriots' ass. Send them packing back to Beantown. Go back where you belong. Yeah, Bears win by more than 6. I will actually place that bet, and hopefully it's one that I win. So we'll see. Yet to be determined. Now, all right, Chicago, we got this. It's okay, guys. Big Frank, hang in there. It's all good. I saw y'all's picture in front of Big Frank's party tailgate bus last weekend. Some really cute kids there. Anyways, we got this. Don't worry, Bears. We're going to beat them by 10. Okay. Our next adopted team, as we are starting to wind this show down, our next segment, or same segment, Pittsburgh Steelers. My boys' team. The Steelers face the Commandos of Washington at noon on Sunday. The Commandos are a -3-point favorite. Washington made a deal with New Orleans to acquire top cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. That is a good piece for the Commandos. Quarterback Jaden Daniels, their quarterback is looking awesome. Like, the Commandos are hot right now. They're looking good. They have a new ownership group. They got rid of Daniel Snyder. He was an asshat. He was a bad person, turns out. Not nice billion. Oh, I think somebody almost got in a wreck outside. Oh, anyways, that was crazy. Russell Wilson is the quarterback of the Pittsburgh. They hit it? Nah. Surely not. Oh, wow. This is interesting breakdown. I think somebody just hit Trav's truck in the parking lot. Let's hope not, but it could be true. So, at the breakdown here, whether it's rain or shine or people are hitting and running our cars in the parking lot, we still got to continue the show. So here we go. We're live, guys. Rusty old Russell Wilson. He is who Mike Tomlin is going to play as the starting quarterback this weekend versus the Commandos. Russell Wilson, has he been humbled by the game? I think maybe he has, because whenever he went to Denver, he wanted his own office, all these things. Sean Payton, the new coach, comes to town and says, "No, I don't think so." And then he told him to go kick rocks and get out of town. And now he's with the Steelers, and he's kind of been humbled a little bit because, from all reports and all accounts in the league, the teammates don't love the guy. He's a bit of a prima donna, He married Sierra or whatever, the singer girl. And, he's kind of been a Mr. Celebrity for a little while. And maybe he's been humbled. He looks good with the Steelers. Maybe the Steelers are a good fit for him right now. Ben's pick. Let's see here. I like to pick my adopted teams to win because it's fun. It's good for content. But I don't think you got it this week, Steelers. I think the Washington Commandos and Jaden Daniels are going to win. And so I think I will take the +3 points. That way, maybe the Steelers win by a field goal or something, and then I can still win the bet. But I think the Commanders are going to take this one. So sorry, bud. Nothing personal. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. To start slowing this down, to end the breakdown here in a few minutes. The Chiefs continue to dominate while appearing to be asleep. The Chiefs literally are beating people, and they don't even look like they're awake. They're just, I mean, I said this last week, but Patrick Mahomes looks like he's on the Harlem Globetrotters. Just behind the back pass, just crazy. And I watched the Monday night game against the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield at quarterback, and the Buccaneers got him into overtime. And the craziest thing about that is we all knew. I mean, the minute that they went into overtime, I'm like, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to win this game. It's not even a question. So, and that's exactly what happened. And that's exactly what they did. So, I mean, if you haven't already put a futures bet down on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl or at least be in it, then you better run to your nearest bookie or your seedy underbelly of the internet and lay down some money on that, dude. Because, I mean, unless something completely crazy happens, I don't even think Taylor Swift breaking Travis Kelce's heart would slow him down at all. And that might be the worst thing that happens. If that happens, then he's pissed. And then everybody just better just stay home. Watch out. Gosh. Chiefs. Whatever. Cowboys. I could talk for about an hour about this, but we've talked a lot about the Cowboys over the course of this program's life. But we're going to just cover it because it's a little regional. The Cowboys lost to the Hotlanta Falcons, which I won that bet. I'm not betting on the Cowboys right now. However, I give you a tasty little bit of advice in a moment. They lose to the Falcons. What is that? 21-27. I laid the points for the Falcons and won the bet. One thing that happened is Dak ripped his hamstring to the bone. From the bone. So what we thought was just a hamstring pull is now a full tear off the bone situation. That's not good. It is called a partial invulsion. Sounds bad. Sounds like something that will be cut on, which means Dak's going to be out for a long time. And now you've got the red-headed stranger, Cooper Rush, in to start the game. Now, I don't know if you remember, because every season it seems like Dak's hurt for like half the season, but we're going to pay him another $240 million. Jeez. Whatever. Dak's always hurt, and Cooper Rush comes in, and Cooper Rush will win games because he gets hot in the beginning, and he's got that, I'm the backup, and this is my moment. All my friends and family are at the game. They're all here. I got them tickets. Dad's here in the stands. Cooper Rush can win you football games, and it'll be weird wins, So, gosh, Sunday, no, it might not happen this weekend because this Sunday they're going to play the Eagles, and the Eagles are for real, but they're very hit or miss. They're a lot like the Ravens. They should beat you, but they lose to weird teams. And Cooper Rush could go into this game and potentially beat the Eagles. There's really no way to know. Did nobody hit your car? Okay, good. Hey, just an update on the shenanigans outside. When it rains here in Abilene, in the lean town, people don't know what the hell to do with themselves, and they just run around town hitting each other with their car. It's crazy. And it is, we're getting some moisture. But it appeared there was honking, and it looked like somebody smashed a car, but they didn't. So that's good. But, yeah, so Cowboys, Dak is out, probably going to need surgery. Eagles this weekend. I'm going to make a fun bet, and I'm just going to bet the Cowboys to cover the spread against the Eagles because the Eagles are very inconsistent. And they are very trap gamey. So Eagles should win by 100, but they could lose by like 4. So, Anyways, I'm going to get ready to close out here. Hey, will you take audience questions? I would love to take it. I've just received a request by an audience member who coincidentally happens to do the show before me with Travis. Weird how you guys are always in the audience. Some of my biggest supporters. Yes, he has asked me if I would take a question from the audience, and he's got a fancy mic, and here we go. Let's see if I can answer it. I don't know. Let's see what we got.
This is speculative, but you mentioned Colorado at the beginning of your show.
Oh yeah.
You just covered the Cowboys.
Colorado Bong Waters. Yes.
So, head coach of Colorado, former Dallas Cowboy.
Yep.
Deion Sanders. So I saw this story on TikTok, and I know you're a TikToker too, or at least you watch different things.
I love TikTok.
I want to put this option or thought in front of you and just get your take on it, if you don't mind. Ben's take on the breakdown.
Yeah.
So it was speculated that with Dak now out, maybe Cooper Rush wins games, maybe he doesn't, but the Cowboys end up in the gutter for the end of the season, and maybe they draft
Shedeur Sanders.
Maybe they draft him. Maybe they figure out a way to draft him. But in doing so, his father has coached him every year that he's played since high school. So maybe they bring in Deion as the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, former Dallas Cowboy player, instant way to gravitate and magnetize more people to maybe believe in the Cowboys again. What are your thoughts on that?
As much as I love TikTok, okay, this is a conspiracy theory. This goes with the monkeypox in the water right now. But not a dumb question. It's not, because it could happen. I want that to happen. But I do think it's funny that TikTok would put that together. It's very TikTok-ish. And but I have heard rumors of this a little bit recently, but the weirdest part is like, God, none of us thought the Cowboys would actually suck bad enough to end up with the first round draft pick and get Shedeur. And also, is Jerry Jones, can he get out of his own way and make all that happen too, No, I think that is a great theory that could happen. Man, that would actually, that's too good to happen to the Cowboys, D. Grant. It's not going to happen. No way. They're going to win just enough games to get crappy draft picks, because Jerry wants to win and go on his show every Tuesday and say that he won. I'm sure they had to stop Jerry from getting Johnny Manziel in the draft, Johnny Football. Like, he was going to get him. And, somebody, threatened his life or something, to not do that. But, man, D. Grant, great question. Could the Cowboys lose out, get the number one draft pick, and then fire Mike McCarthy's fat ass and get Deion Sanders to be the coach? Boy, that would turn everything around for Dallas, Irving, wherever they are now. Wow. That would be super cool. I would be excited for that content for this program. Great question. So, yeah, the Cowboys. That's what we're going to talk about, the Cowboys. I did want to mention something. Hockey season has also begun, and we have some hockey fans in our audience. And, dude, hockey players are crazy. Football guys are tough. Nobody can take that away from them. But hockey, they do it on skates. Ice skates. They're playing football with freaking clubs that they hit each other with on skates, on the ice. They do it on the ice. Hockey's crazy. There are expletives that I want to just shoot out of my mouth to explain how crazy as hell hockey players are and what that sport really is. God, it's like, okay, LeBron James, you're a great athlete. Can you do it on ice, on skates? Don't think so. You know? So I'm trying to get more into hockey. It's just something regionally for me in my life where I grew up. It just um, wasn't a big deal. And our regional Dallas Stars just continually just beat down their fan base by just, almost getting there and then just taking it, just crapping the bed in the playoffs. Yeah, well, you know what? It's the teams of Dallas. That's right. Trev says just like the Cowboys. That is right. The Cowboys and the Stars. Yikes. But the Stars actually go to the playoffs a hell of a lot more than the Cowboys do. But anyway, so I'm going to try throughout this hockey season to kind of introduce or reintroduce this sport to some of our Texas and Southern audience members because hockey is badass. And on that note, why I brought it up, I'm watching Sports Center last night, and I just scribbled this down in my notes because I wasn't going to talk about it, but this guy named Dylan Holloway, he's a player for the Blues. Do you know where the Blues are? St. Louis Blues or yeah, I don't know who the Blues are, but that might be it. Anyways, the dude takes a line drive puck shot to his freaking jugular right here, just bare skin, and doesn't go down. Skates back to the bench, and he's sitting there, and like everybody saw it, and they're just like, "You all right, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Dude falls out, passes out. They get him on a stretcher, and he's like still arguing the fact that he does not need to be on the stretcher. And the medical people, God bless them, they probably deal with these dudes all the time, and they're just like, you're gonna have to get treated medically here to see what's wrong with you. But anyways, I'm like, hockey is badass. I'm gonna watch hockey. I'm gonna watch hockey early in the season this year. And I want to learn what a freaking power play is. I need to know some things here. So, hockey, Ben is in. And guess what? They got lines. You can gamble on that. I'm happy to lose some money on hockey. So here we go. And I kind of think I'm going to adopt a hockey team this year, next week. Starting next week, I'm going to do a little research. And I am going to pick my team of the year. And this could be based on a few factors, deciding factors. And one of those factors is who has the coolest jerseys. That's important to me. And to me, how do you beat the Chicago Blackhawks? That is cool. So it might be them. It's not going to be, I tell you, it's not going to be the Dallas Stars. It's not going to be them. I loved the Rangers when I was a kid because of Wayne Gretzky. And then the Mighty Ducks. Yeah. Like the Mighty Ducks brought hockey into the living rooms of kids in Midland, Texas in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know what the hell hockey was about, really. But then the Mighty Ducks came along, and you kind of had Wayne Gretzky going on there. So, quack, 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 quack. Anyways, all right, guys. I'm gonna close this out by saying let's win some money this weekend, okay? And go Raiders, go Bears, go Steelers, go everybody else. And thank you for joining us, and go hockey. And I hope Dylan Holloway is still good after getting jugulared by that hockey puck. But anyways, thank you to my technical producer extraordinaire, Sam Wolf. Thank you to the Neon Parrot Life Studios. Do listen to the show before mine with Travis Eason and D. Grant Smith. They had Terry Knight on. I came in a little late, but it looks like a great interview. Thank you, TJ, for helping me mix my sound that we now have, the audio and the intro and outro. And please, Cotton Warehouse concert, which is so cool. It's surrounded by one of many of Sam's buses, and it is a concert kind of series that is being put on, and that is next Thursday night at the Cotton Warehouse. If you don't know where it is, then you're a loser. Figure it out. It's cool. Everybody should go. Anyways, this is so much fun for me, and I hope the Jets lose this weekend. That's what I got with that. But thank you guys. Let's hear that, tunes. Yeah. Breakdown with your not so humble host, Ben. Boom. The tunes.